methods for facilitating mental processing during slumber. If you had a secretary who was highly competent, invaluable, totally submissive to your every command at all times, and devotedly carried out your every idea, wouldn't you consider yourself fortunate? You should be cautious not to have any doubts about your secretary's ability to do what you want, because despite his skill, his ability to do it depends on your belief in him. Imagine this personal secretary as a representation of your subconscious mind, the part of you that exists below the level of consciousness. I was describing a certain type of secretary, and I hope you can see that this is that person. Capable of fulfilling all your needs, achieving all your goals, and reaching your objectives to the fullest extent that you believe in its abilities. The subconscious mind, or personal secretary, can unlock your full potential and help achieve success in all areas of life. By trusting its abilities and guidance, you can tap into a wealth of resources and capabilities. With the support of this powerful ally, there is no limit to what you can accomplish and the heights you can reach. Trust in your subconscious mind and watch as it helps manifest your dreams and desires, making it as close to you as your breath and heartbeat. Every bit of help, support, encouragement you give to this other version of yourself will make your future even more beautiful. On the other hand, all of your negative, mean thoughts, those that are selfish, greedy, or envious, along with your doubts and fears, will make your secretary or servant less effective in the same way that their intensity and persistence will make you less effective. Actually, you are the only one who can decide if your secretary will be your best friend and helper in heaven or your worst enemy. What we call them doesn't matter. Self that is unconscious and self that is aware, or subjective and objective mind. We are all aware that these two forces are always at work in us. It does what one tells it to do. We know that the subjective mind, which has the willpower, doesn't do things on its own. It gets instructions from the objective mind. The subjective or subconscious mind, which I've called a personal secretary, is a servant that does what we want and keeps a careful record in our brains of everything we see and hear. People say, Coleridge gives a very interesting example of how true this is. A young German servant girl got a fever, and while she was crazy, she could correctly recite long passages from well-known authors in Latin, Greek, and Hebrew. Scholars were called in to listen to this girl who wasn't educated, speak fluently in languages she didn't know when she was awake, and try to figure out what it all meant. Their minds were a mess, and they couldn't figure it out. Later, though, the miracle was made clear. It looks like the girl had lived with a minister's family in the past and was used to hearing the master read the classics out loud. Because she had paid close attention, her subconscious mind had carefully stored every word in her brain and repeated what it had heard. When the objective mind was still, many examples could be given to show that our subconscious mind keeps track of everything that has ever happened to us. Our subconscious mind faithfully records every thought, every experience, and everything we see, hear, or feel in our daily lives. Our subconscious mind, other self, or whatever we want to call it, has a lot of power, so why can't we train it to work for us when we're asleep, as well as when we're awake? Have you ever thought about how your mind and spirit might grow while you sleep? Have you ever thought that while your body is normally healing and building itself up, your mind might also be growing? Both the body and the soul may be growing. Swedenborg said that the Lord works when conscious and physical things are still. The great Swedish philosopher was sure that the other self did things while you sleep. He said that his spiritual vision came to him while he was asleep at night. There are many examples in the Bible of what the subconscious mind or self does while we sleep. People have warnings, are told what work needs to be done, have visions, make plans, talk to angels, and are told what to do. Everything that is said to the soul in a dream is literally carried out when the person wakes up. Theosophists believe that the soul or spirit acts apart from the body while we sleep. They say that the soul or spirit leaves the body and goes out into the night to do tasks set by God. It turns out that few people are aware of how much work their bodies perform on an automatic basis under the control of their subconscious mind. All of the body's functions would stop if the brain and nervous system went to sleep at night. The stomach, liver, kidneys, and other glands would stop working, and the heart would stop beating. The different digestive processes would stop working, our bodies would stop working, and we would have to stop breathing. One of the most mysterious things about how nature works is how she puts parts of the brain and nervous system that were used during the day to sleep while she repairs and renews every cell and tissue. At the same time, she keeps many body processes and even some mental and creative faculties very active. When someone sleeps, these are asleep, but these are always awake and aware. It's likely that most of us have fallen asleep at night, feeling down because we couldn't figure out a problem that was bothering us. It could have been one in math when we were kids, or it could have been one that was more important in business or work later on. And lo and behold, the problem was solved in the morning without us having to do anything. It was all figured out, and what had been so confusing the night before was now very clear. Our aware, objective self did not go into the mysterious lab where the miracle was done when we woke up in the morning. We have no idea how it was made. We only know that it was done while we were sleeping, and we didn't know about it. The subconscious mind has come up with some of the best ideas and inventions we have ever seen. It's been said that many inventors who went to sleep frustrated and down because they couldn't see how their theory could be used in real life woke up the next morning with their problem solved. There are examples of mathematicians and astronomers who came up with amazing answers to questions that had stumped them for hours while they were awake. While the body slept, writers, poets, painters, and musicians all got ideas for their work. A lot of people try to explain these things in terms of the physical world. According to theory, the apparent event results from the brain resting and renewing during the night so that we can think more clearly and effectively in the morning. In a certain way, that is true. However, there is something further than this. We know that problems are solved and ideas are suggested in ways that the conscious mind did not think of. Many of us have had experiences that show there is a higher principle or intelligent power that is behind our flesh, but not of it. This power is always at work in our lives and helps us solve our problems. He writes about the great scientist Professor Luis Agassiz's life and gives one of the most interesting examples of this type of thing. The author says that Professor Agassiz had been trying for 2 weeks to figure out what the somewhat vague impression of a fossil fish on the stone slab that it was preserved meant. To finally get rid of the thought of it, he set down his work and tried to forget about it. Soon after, he woke up one night convinced that he had seen this fish while he was asleep, with all of its missing parts fully restored. He tried to hold on to the image, but it got away from him. Still, he got up early and went to the Jardin des Plantes because he thought that if he looked at the impression again, he would see something that would help him follow his vision. The blurry record was still blank, though. The next night he saw the fish again, but this time it wasn't any better. When he woke up, the dream was gone from his mind, just like before. He hoped that the same thing would happen again. Before going to sleep on the third night, he put a pencil and paper next to his bed. So around morning, the fish showed up again in his dream. At first, it was hard to tell what kind of animal it was, but eventually it became so clear that he was sure it was a fish. He traced these characters on the piece of paper next to his bed while he was still half asleep and dreaming in total darkness. He was surprised in the morning to see details in his sketch from the night before that he didn't think the fossil itself could show. As soon as he got to the Jardin des Plantes, he used his drawing to carefully chip away at the stone surface, revealing parts of the fish that were hidden below. When it was fully shown, it matched his dream and his drawing, and it was easy for him to put it into a category. Many of us have seen examples of the amazing things somnambulists can do. It is common for them to get up and rest while they are sound asleep. They will also lock and unlock doors and walk and ride in the most dangerous places that they would never go awake. A lot of people have been known to walk with sure feet along the very edges of roofs, houses, rivers, or cliffs where one wrong step could kill them. They will write, talk, move, and act as if they are fully aware of what they are doing. It is possible for a somnambulist to answer questions and carry on a conversation while he is asleep. People who sleepwalk are in a similar state to people who are under hypnosis in this way. someone can act on him from the outside, and he will stay completely unconscious. People who were hypnotized have had surgery done on them without anesthesia, and there is no doubt that this could also be done while they are in deep sleep. When the objective mind is asleep, the subjective mind is much more open to suggestions. People aren't against the idea that we are on the verge of amazing new ways to treat illness because of bias or outside influences. While you sleep, there is no doubt at all. The same is true for forming habits, changing ones, improving ones, strengthening weak abilities, and getting rid of quirks and personality traits. Of getting rid of harmful inherited tendencies. Getting better at something. There are chances to change your mood and build your mind while you sleep, are just now starting to come true. The power that the mind has over the body comes with good pictures. By the fact that it made a person under hypnosis think, can change the flow of blood in a very important way. They can send it to any part of the body they want. The hypnotist can make the person blush or get pale, show him strong anger or love by touching his face. He can put anesthesia on any part of the body whenever he wants. In order to put a needle or knife into the flesh, without making you feel any pain. He can also make the person think of things that are good. He drinks water because he thinks it is whiskey. That he will actually act like he is drunk. He can trick him into thinking that the water he takes is poisonous. So that he will start showing signs of poisoning right away. The subjective mind can do more than just follow directions. However, it has already been shown. Any mark that is made on it can't be erased. How often do we say when we can't remember a well-known name or specifics about a significant event or journey? I'm afraid I can't think of that right now. I'll get it though. I'm going to think about it now. And how often have the little things we forgot come back to us? When the time for it is over, why did we think of something else over and over? It's been making us think all night. Not being able to think of anything specific. We can't remember what it was. The next morning it was already there for us. It's starting to dawn on us that everything we do during the day, all of our feelings, thoughts, and ways of thinking, a lot of small things that only seem to make an emotional impact. In fact, they are not lost. Each day leaves its own picture on the brain. These records are also never lost or erased. They fall asleep and don't remember anything and are always ready to help. They might not come right away when we call for them. They're still there though, and are often found many years after they were buried in the mind. Reproduced with all of their original color. I recently learned about a well-known banker who dropped a very important key, the only one who can get to the bank. He said it wasn't lost in the usual way. but stolen suspicion quickly fell on the employees. A well-known detective was put in charge of the bank. We watched and asked every staff member a lot of questions. He was sure that no one but the banker himself could have done it, knew anything about the key. Every detective has to be able to read minds in some way. And this person, who was sure of his own theory, came up with a simple way to get the key back. He told the banker not to worry about burglars and stop suspecting the workers, getting the treasures from the bank. To calm down his stressed-out mind and fall asleep thinking that he had hidden the key somewhere. It would be found in the morning. He told her, "I think the mystery will be solved if you do this." The banker did what the detective told him to do as best he could. When he woke up the next morning, he felt a strong urge to go to a secret place. Look, the key was right there. He wasn't aware that he had put it there. Once he found it, though, he had a vague memory of having been here before. It's likely that the banker's objective or conscious mind was busy with something else. There was no one else in the world who knew what he was doing when he put the key away, but his subconscious mind. After that, when he lost the key, his worries, fears, stress, anxiety, suspicions, and general bad mood got worse. That stopped his subjective mind from telling him the secret. But once his mind was calm, he was again in touch with his own intelligence. The information was sent to Dr. Haktuk, a well-known English expert on the subject. He says that when the memory is clear of other things, which can happen sometimes, it is so clear that the sleeper can remember things that happened years ago and which had been forgotten altogether. Un detective conocido fue puesto a cargo del banco. Observamos y preguntamos a todos los miembros del personal muchas preguntas. Él estaba seguro de que nadie más que el banquero mismo podría haberlo hecho. Sabía algo sobre la llave. Cada detective debe ser capaz de leer las mentes de alguna manera. Y esta persona, que estaba segura de su propia teoría, legó a una manera sencilla de recuperar la llave. Le dijo al banquero que no se preocupara por los ladrones y que dejara de sospechar a los trabajadores. Obtener los tesoros del banco. Para calmar su mente estresada y quedarse dormido pensando que había escondido la llave en algún lugar. Sería encontrado por la mañana. Él le dijo: "Creo que el misterio se resolverá si haces esto." El banquero hizo lo que el detective le dijo que hiciera lo mejor que pudo. Al despertar a la mañana siguiente, sintió un gran deseo de ir a un lugar secreto. Mira, la llave estaba allí. Él no sabía que lo había puesto allí. Una vez que lo encontró, sin embargo, tenía un vago recuerdo de haber estado aquí antes. Es probable que la mente del banquero o consciente estuviera ocupada con otra cosa. No había nadie más en el mundo que supiera lo que estaba haciendo cuando dejó la llave fuera de su mente subconsciente. Después de eso, cuando perdió la llave, sus preocupaciones, miedos, estrés, ansiedad, sospechas y mal humor general empeoraron. Eso impidió que su mente subjetiva le dijera el secreto. Pero una vez su mente estaba tranquila, volvió a estar en contacto con su propia inteligencia. La información fue enviada al Dr. Hypnotic, un conocido experto inglés en el tema. Dice que cuando la memoria es clara de otras cosas, lo que puede ocurrir a veces es tan claro que el dormitorio puede recordar cosas que ocurrieron años atrás y que todos habían olvidado. Either things are better or worse for us. We changed while we slept. Even though our senses are asleep, our subjective mind is very busy. Either it is putting up or taking down. There is no doubt in my mind that if we intelligently and methodically direct this part of the brain that doesn't sleep, we can actually make it create what we want. As it stands, most people don't make the most of this amazing creative power because they don't prepare their minds properly before bed. As a result, they destroy any chance of good results from its action. Getting the mind ready for sleep is just as important as getting the body ready. Here are some ideas to think about on this subject. I recently heard a young woman getting ready for sleep say that it was impossible for any woman to look nice or be nice right after getting up in the morning. The Reverend Dr. Bushnell said that a man must sleep next to an angry devil. When we wake up in the morning, how we feel depends on how we thought or felt before we went to sleep. If we retire with a grudge against a neighbor, determined to get even with someone who has hurt us, if we are angry or jealous of someone else's success, and if we go to sleep nursing these feelings, we wake up feeling sad, worn out, angry, and unhappy, almost as much like the devil as a person can feel. The destroyer was busy all night, messing around with the brain and nerve cells and tearing down quickly what nature had worked so hard to build up. When we bring nice, loving thoughts to bed with us, though, as soon as we wake up, we feel refreshed and happy. Our sleepless minds worked on building things all day and did friendly work for us at night. Not many people think about getting their minds ready for sleep, but it's even more important than getting their bodies ready. The second one is something that most of us work very hard to get right. We take off our clothes, take a warm bath, and massage our faces with a cool salve, cream, or oil. We make sure that our bedroom has enough airflow and that our bed is clean and comfortable. However, we don't give any thought to getting our minds ready. We don't let our subconscious mind build things for us at night. Instead, we let it destroy a lot of what we've built during the day. A lot of us get old, frail, and wrinkled at night when it should be the other way around. Nature herself has planned for night to be the time when life grows and starts over. We should prepare our minds for sleep with the same care and intelligence that we prepare our bodies. We should give our minds a cleansing mental bath, wiping from memory all the dark, discordant images, all the worries and fears that bothered and confused us during the day. That way we wouldn't have to deal with the nightmare panorama playing over and over again at night, keeping us from getting the rest we need and blocking our body's natural healing and building forces. What a difference it would make in our lives and in what we achieve. Some men have said that getting in tune with the infinite and putting themselves in a state of harmony before going to sleep has changed their lives. In the past, they would often go to bed in a bad mood, tired and depressed, because they were afraid of bad things that were going to happen. They would worry about many things. At night, they would talk about their bad luck with their wives. And then fall asleep thinking about how bad things were in their lives, the mistakes they had made, and the bad things that might happen because of them. Of course, their minds were already upset when they fell asleep, and as expected, the sad, black, and ugly images of the bad things they feared became more and more vivid in the stillness of the night, etching themselves deeper and deeper into their minds and doing their evil work, making it impossible for them to really rest and feel refreshed. In a calm state of mind, they changed their habits and thoughts and went to bed with the intention of going to sleep. Instead of being upset about their problems, their business started to get better right away. They were stronger, more alert, more resourceful, and better able to deal with problems, make plans, and carry them out than when they weren't getting enough of nature's restorative sleep. Which was draining their physical and mental resources. A lot of people tell me that they think about things all night long. They can't stop thinking about what they need to do the next day because their minds are so busy. On the first night, you can't help but think. You start to form the new habit after years of doing the old one. Going to bed every night worrying, thinking, planning, maybe even as far back as you can remember. Making plans ahead of time for days, weeks, months, and maybe even the next year. You will reach your goal, though, if you don't give up and make it a strict rule that no worries, fears, business problems, or other kinds of disagreements can enter your bedroom. Think of your bedroom as the one sacred place where you can rest, where the things that bother and annoy you during the day will not be able to get in. Put this sign over the door or somewhere else that will stand out so you can see it. All strife must be kept out of this holy place, which is the most powerful and peaceful place in my life. Say to yourself, I did my best today, as you take off your clothes and lie down. I'm going to stop thinking, planning, and worrying right now and get a good night's sleep to get ready for work tomorrow. Get rid of all anxious and worrying business thoughts, as well as any anger or hatred toward another person. Make up your mind that you will never again have a bad, angry, or mean thought about another person. Delete from your memory everything you have ever thought about them negatively, that you will forget the bad things that happened in the past and start over. Picture that the walls of your room are covered in letters of light that say harmony, peace, love, and goodwill to all living things. Keep saying them over and over until the ideas they contain fill up that other self, that personal secretary just below the edge of your consciousness. Your mind will be calm and clear, full of happy, creative thoughts, and you will fall asleep after a while. Of course, until you make a new habit, thoughts will come up anyway, but you don't have to hold on to them. In no way should you keep thinking about business or anything else that makes you unhappy after you retire. It would be like letting a crazy person slash you with a knife and not trying to defend yourself. You can if you keep going the new and better way. Every night, go to sleep like a child who is tired, and in the morning, you'll be just as happy and refreshed. After a while, your subconscious mind will do what you tell it to do without you having to think about it. This part of your mind that won't go to sleep is actually one of the most powerful tools you have to help you achieve your goals. For example, insomnia, which is a curse for a lot of Americans, may be cured with its help. If you have insomnia and go to bed every night sure that you won't be able to sleep, you are mostly to blame for your belief. The main reason your problems keep happening is that you are sure in your subconscious mind that there is something wrong with your ability to sleep. From experience, we know that if we say something over and over again for a long time, we can make ourselves believe it. After a while, the constant repetition makes us believe that what we're hearing is true. Getting into the habit of sleeping is just as easy as getting into any other habit. Affirmation can help you sleep better by reprogramming your subconscious mind. Consistent affirmations can break sleep problems and create healthier habits. With dedication and persistence, you can prove your control over your sleep. Heart-to-heart conversations can help you regain sleep by proving your ability to sleep soundly. You can get your subconscious mind to do what you want it to do to help you get over insomnia. The subconscious mind is that part of your nature that controls the things you do without thinking about them, like walking and other things that don't require special willpower or command. Tell this part of yourself that you know there's no reason not to sleep. There is nothing wrong with your mind or body that is keeping you awake. There's no reason you shouldn't sleep well for a certain number of hours every night, and that's what you're going to do tonight. Say similar affirmations to yourself several times a day. Sleep is a natural and essential function for overall health and well-being. It's a bad habit when physically or mentally sick, but it's a natural part of self-care. Remind yourself that your body knows how to sleep and that you can achieve restful and rejuvenating sleep each night. Release any doubts or anxieties about sleep and trust in your body's ability to recharge. Sleep is a vital part of self-care, and you deserve to experience its full benefits. That stupid obsession has you as a slave, but you're going to break it up. You are going to start right away. You are going to sleep better tonight, tomorrow night. And the night after that, you will finish this imaginary party you made up that doesn't exist in real life. You're only awake because you are sure and afraid that you won't fall asleep. As was already said, get your mind ready for sleep by getting rid of all worry, fear, anger, and ungratefulness. Anything that bothers, annoys, or thrills you. Think of happy things, things that will make you feel good, things that will help and inspire you instead. Set your mind on the idea that you will fall asleep naturally and easily. Say to yourself over and over in a quiet, sleepy voice, "I am so sleepy, so sleepy, so sleepy." The subconscious mind will pay attention and will quickly follow through with your suggestion. Obviously, if insomnia is caused by bad or irregular habits, the person who has it needs to change all of those habits before he can feel better. People have a lot of habits. We do most of the things we need to do in life so often that they almost feel like second nature. Regularity is crucial for health, success, and happiness, especially in sleep. A consistent bedtime routine and a peaceful sleep environment enhance rest quality. Incorporating healthy sleep habits trains the subconscious mind to prioritize rest and relaxation. Regular sleep hours and habits are essential for overall well-being and productivity. You should play as hard as you work to relax and feel better. Have fun and enjoy your free time. Once you're done with work and every night at the same time, get your mind ready for sleep just like you would your body. Give it a bath in your mind and cover it in nice thoughts. You will quickly get into the habit of getting good, peaceful sleep every night. No matter what else you do or don't do, make it a habit to call on the great power inside you. Before you go to sleep, leave there the message of uplifting, self-improvement, and self-enlargement that you want but don't know how to get. It will work like a leaven during the night to record this call, this demand for something higher and more noble in your subconscious. After a while, all the building forces inside you will come together to help you reach your goal and realize your vision, whatever it is. Someone can turn their sleep into a great time for their mind and body to grow. Focus on your vision and harness the power of your subconscious mind to manifest your desires and achieve goals. Be mindful of the thoughts and energy you put out into the universe as they shape your reality. Clear negative beliefs and patterns, cultivate a mindset of abundance and success, and work on turning your dreams into reality. With dedication and intention, you can create a fulfilling and purposeful life. Make your subconscious a friend by providing strong, creative, and helpful thoughts to keep building for you at night. While you sleep, you have amazing chances to improve your health, build your character, be successful, and be happy. There are seeds in every thought that we have before we go to sleep that will grow while we are asleep at night, and finally grow a crop of its own by impressing it with our wants. Picture as clearly as possible our ideals, what we want to become, and what we long to achieve, and we will be amazed at how quickly that wonderful force in the subjective self works. We'll start to shape the pattern and copy the model that is given to it. In this way, we can break bad habits that hurt our self-respect, make us look bad, make us less useful and efficient, and maybe even take our lives. There are things that can be fixed. We can improve the weak parts of ourselves and get rid of bad habits that our willpower alone might not be able to stop during the day. It's now clear that our subconscious mind can build or destroy, make us happy or sad, depending on the pattern we give it before we go to sleep. Why don't we use it more if it can help inventors, discoverers, and businessmen who are having trouble? Because it's so powerful and mysterious, why don't we use it to build our lives, our characters, our success, and our happiness instead of destroying them? One reason is that we are only now learning how to control this second self, or intelligence, that controls everything the body does, without the objective self giving orders right away. By doing tests on people who are hypnotized, we can get a sense of what it can do. The subjective mind is in charge when the objective mind is turned off. The objective mind gets most of its information from the 5 senses. It turns out to be pretty easy to make big changes in someone's behavior while they're under hypnosis, and to use suggestion to fix bad habits, mental and moral flaws. There's no doubt that, from the point of view of the subjective mind, we are in a state similar to that of hypnosis when we are asleep. It has been shown through experiments that talking to children while they sleep, giving them advice, counseling, and suggestions for what is best for them can have wonderful effects. Kids should learn how to get ready for sleep from their parents, so the subconscious mind could make things. Create a positive bedtime routine for children by using calming words and gentle guidance. This creates a sense of security and comfort, allowing the subconscious mind to absorb positive messages. This can improve sleep quality and overall well-being. Parents should understand the impact of their words on their children's mental and emotional health, both during and after sleep. How often have we seen a child go to bed after being severely scolded, or even whipped with angry and scared thoughts running through their minds? It is never okay to scold, scare, or tease a child, especially right before bed. In the spirit of love, it should be helped to fall asleep when it is in its best mood. Its face will then show the love spirit while it sleeps, and when it wakes up, the child will feel like it had been talking to angels while it slept. Children are especially open to the effects of our thoughts and suggestions while they sleep. You can change a lot about their character. During sleep, their skills improved, their flaws went away, and their weak spots got stronger. When they are that way, the suggestions you make to them are more powerful than when you are awake. The subjective mind slowly takes in and thinks about every suggestion, while the objective mind often scatters and fails to repeat what it is given. This has been true for many moms, especially when they were trying to break bad habits that were hard to do while their kids were awake. If you want your child to be beautiful in personality, character, and person, think and talk about beautiful things while it sleeps. From time to time, I think the child will forget a lot of what they have learned while they sleep. Its artistic skills, its love of music, art, and all things good and lovely, as well as its hidden talents and abilities of every kind, will be brought out through suggestion. The great secret of life lies in the wonderful creative forces inside us. And the person who finds it will be blessed. He who finds it at the beginning of life is twice as lucky.